Well, hello everybody. Sorry delay in getting this started. I am still struggling like crazy to get this software to work and everything to jive together. So I appreciate it as you bear with me. Excuse me. As I continue to grow this channel and grow this show into something that is really, really epic. So I'm going to give a few minutes for some folks to trickle in here while I hopefully adjust some more settings that don't cause everything to go boom. Yeah. So anyway, I will, let me see if there's a way I can pop into the other chat and say welcome. Actually, I'm going to text somebody and have them do it for me. So anyway, it's beautiful out right now. I'm hoping to, after the stream, sorry, just trying to get the word out there a little bit, as they say. So yeah, so anyway, right now it is elk season, or getting close to elk season. More importantly, it is the elk rut. And one of my dream photos is to get a shot of some rutting bull elk battling it out. So I am, after the stream here, I am going to hopefully go out and make that happen. So yeah, this whole streaming thing and learning all this technology, I said it before and I'll say it again. I was born in the wrong century. Definitely born in the wrong century. This tech stuff is just insane. So it's been a struggle, to say the least. I'm just texting some people the live stream, new live stream coordinates, so that hopefully somebody joins. The funny thing, there's somebody. Hello, somebody. How are you doing today? So anyway, now that I have one viewer, I'll just go ahead and start. So on the whoever is there, can you hear me all right? Just give me a thumbs up or something. Let me know, because I think I should have a good mic, but let me see if I can. Oh, nope, that muted it. I'm hoping that you all can hear me okay with this. Okay, cool. Can hear me. So yeah, I still have, like I said, still have yet to figure this out. The first episode of T3Live was a comic mess, but I was able to, really quickly start the scheduled stream And ever since then, I have not been able to duplicate it. So for the last 10 minutes before the 4 o'clock start time of the original stream, I'm like frantically looking up articles on this, hotspot that's barely got a signal. I downloaded something called OBS to try to, stream it through that. And so, number one on my, well, one of my number ones on my agenda for this week is to really figure this out, because the setup at home, and especially normally I'd be doing this at home with my computer plugged into a 100 plus foot Ethernet cable, and I'd be in the woods at my little desk office setup that I have out there for doing this show. I had a little bit of levity to it. But our Starlink, there's some issues going on. They're doing some upgrades or something. And therefore, I didn't want to risk streaming there. So I decided to come out here to Bull Run Education Center and use my hotspot and go for it. But anyway, on to some more pressing matters. So, yeah. Let's talk about this past weekend. So this past weekend, my buddy Adam LaRue and I, of the Sharpening Stone in Wolf Creek, Oregon, we ran a class together called Foraging the Waterways. And it was basically a class about everything about water, except for drinking it, and from a wilderness living or survival standpoint. So all the different things that we can hunt or forage in and around water. I posted a photo today of some really awesome cattail hats and baskets that people made during the class. We processed the cattail rhizome into starch patties. We caught a whole bunch of crawfish. I talked about several different types of fish traps, ways to make quick fish hooks, and it was just all in all a fun time. Adam's Land is beautiful. In the show notes, I will put a link to his YouTube show. He and I are going to be collaborating on a few more classes together over the next couple months. You can find those on my schedule page. And then we're talking about doing a pretty significant amount of classes over the next year. I met Adam many years ago when he first came to Tracker School, my dad's school, and we became friends. And it's just amazing. It always does my heart good when a fresh student comes, and then you kind of keep in touch with them over the years, and the next thing you know, 15 years later, they're living the skills, or they've become such high level practitioners of them that it just does my heart so good. So people like Adam LaRue and Brad and Sarah from Roots, Vermont, Matt and Carmen Cordino from Mount Victory Camp, down in the Virgin Islands, a whole slew of folks I can think of, Carly Fairchild, who have, started off in these skills and then turned there, and how's the old saying go? Make your vocation your avocation. They've managed to do that. I wish they'd give me some notes on how to do it, because it is rough being an entrepreneur these days and trying to get businesses off the ground and coming up with plans, 1, 3, and 5 year business plans, only to find out that those are gone, and I have to rethink everything and reformulate my business. So, between that and then my social media hack and losing access to my Facebook business and commerce suite, I have, uh, just had a ton of things that have just, set me back, whether it's, you know, whether it's a day, a month, a year, who knows? One thing I learned early on is that, and I'll quote the latest Stephen King book I'm reading, is that uh, good people shine brighter in dark places. And I think we can all agree that, as a species, we are in a pretty dark place right now. Instead of, coming together as one community, we bicker amongst each other over stupid shit. Uh, just the amount of, disparity of wealth, everything out there is just it's so sad and disgusting what we have turned into. And in a really short period of time, really just the last couple thousand years, we have, our population has exploded. We've spread across the globe. Uh, we make short-sighted decisions and not thinking of future generations of all beings and all creatures and all things. And, we have this insatiable need for cheap disposable goods. And all of the things I talked about, these are all engineered, to manipulate us to want those things, to want the new iPhone, to want the new whatever. Because in order for the worldwide machine to keep turning, there's got to be work for people. The quality of tools and vehicles and things, how they have just, degraded over the years, and they purposely make it like that. They could build a car that would last for 25, 30 years easy, but they don't, you know. And so if we're going to stop the slaughter, if we're going to stop the destruction, we really need to come together as one, because once again, as I've said a million times, no matter where your family lineage comes from, no matter the color of your skin, any of that stuff, we are all one human animal. And everybody, you know, every being has rights to food, to clothes if they wear them, to shelter, to clean drinking water. Uh, these should be inalienable rights for all beings. All beings should naturally be granted the things they need to flourish. And uh, in our country and in the modern Western world, we're taught that happiness is things, accumulating wealth, all that stuff. The American dream. One of the best quotes I ever read was, "I awoke in a sweat from the American dream." Um, yeah, I will tell you this as somebody who's been teaching these skills for 22 years and been around them my entire life. I've taught classes to millionaires and billionaires and rock stars and movie stars and you name it. And with the exception of a slim few, most of these people who have reached the pinnacle of what we can sit, what we all strive for, they are the most miserable people on the planet because they wasted their life busting their ass to accumulate these things, only to realize that they wasted their to accumulate these things that they can't use now because their life is nearing its end. So you know, whatever you do in life, seek out things that help you to learn how to cultivate, that peace and love and joy and purpose that we all crave. And, I'll admit it's been a struggle for me lately. Um, I am going to be honest with you. I am at one of the lowest points I've been in a long time. I've had a series of events happen. Why my screensaver keeps going on. I've had a series of events happen and things go wrong, and uh, it, as I said before, it's I know it's a test, and I know one day I'll look back and at this time and I'll chuckle about it. But right now, in the struggle, it sucks. It sucks having to, worry if you can make all your bills. These things suck, and it's not how we're meant to live. Our ancestors, their job was to wake up every day, provide themselves with food, clothing, and shelter, and community and happiness. And they did so by going out onto the landscape, gathering materials for whatever tool they might need, parts to repair their shelter. They worked a couple hours a day. Then they came back to their village. And, it was a community in the truest sense of the word. And my friends that, still go and spend time with the few intact groups of indigenous peoples out there, these people who in the Western world we consider to live in poverty because they don't make X amount of dollars, they're far happier than 90% of us here, because their average work day is about 3 hours. Then they spend the rest of their time building community. Children are raised, as they say, it takes a village. Children are raised by grandparents and allo parents and other relatives. So the children were brought up hearing and listening to all these different perspectives. Whereas nowadays, we put kids in school. When if you do some research and learn about the Western education system and how it was designed, it was essentially designed to turn out subservient worker bees. Yeah. So along with that, we move into the modern era, the era of comfort, the era of instant gratification. We inflate those bubbles of safety and security and comfort around us. And sometimes safety and security and comfort are nice, but personally, I want the real. I want the breeze. I want the hot. I want the cold. I want the rain. I want to see what's around the next bend in the trail. Uh, you know, Another quote my father uses often in his teaching is I'm not sure which old school author said it, but goes something like, most men lead lives of quiet desperation. And then my father added, and desperate mediocrity to it. So yeah, we need to become something else. We need to evolve. Our technology is evolving far faster than we are. We need to learn to use the tools at our disposal to do good instead of do bad. But anyway, enough ranting for now. One thing I ask is that please hit that like button if you don't mind. I'm trying to get my stuff up on the algorithm, get this channel, build it so it's a place of not only skills, these weekly live shows, but I'm going to be getting ready to upload my first gear review from a photography company that makes something really awesome. And then I'm going to have a channel with my more artsy time lapses with music in the background and things like that. So yeah, I'm gonna work on the YouTube angle since I have been banished from meta platforms for no reason whatsoever. But yeah, so for the rest of the fall, let's see, we've got my little digital notepad that I use to run my whole life has taken a dump on me and needs a new battery. So, I had everything written out and it died. So this Saturday, Andrea Kreiner from Red Cedar Forest Therapy and I are going to be running a class about taking the techniques that I teach people to deepen their connection with the natural world. And then she's going to talk about, as a forest therapist, the science that is now proven behind it. For decades, my father has been talking about how time and nature heals people. I have seen it personally happen hundreds, if not thousands of times. So these things that my father has been saying for years are now being proven out by science. So yeah, that class is on Saturday. You can find it by heading to my website and my schedule page. I'll add that to the show notes as well. After that, let me open up my little calendar here. On Sunday, I am doing a wild edible plants and ethical foraging online class. You can, once again, register for that through my schedule page. I designed a series of 6 or 7, I think it's 7 online classes. You can purchase them individually, they're $100, or you can buy what's called the all-in-one deal, where you get to attend all of the webinars. They're not designed to be watched in any specific order. But yeah, that all-in-one deal, you get almost half off the cost as if you were to buy them each individually. So super good deal if you live afar and can't make it to one of my classes around here. Let's see. One event I wanted to promote for my buddy Adam LaRue and his place, the Sharpening Stone. The weekend of October 7th, 8th, and 9th, they are running an event called Feast on the Fire. Adam is known for his springtime ancestral skills gathering called the Sharpening Stone. But this year they decided to do a fall one based around food. So this is the first year. You can get there. I'll put the website in the show notes, but you can get there through thesharpeningstone.org. It's a good way to check that out. Coming up the weekend after that, Adam and I have another class coming up called Skin and Bones. Now, we're both tall, skinny dudes, so we jokingly came up with the class title. But in that class, you will learn how to not only fully tan a rabbit pelt from being hide fresh off the animal. We're going to do it bark tan style, but you'll also learn about small game processing, which is a crucial skill for survival. And if you ever choose to become a hunter or start raising your own animals. And then when the hides are soaking and doing other things, we're going to work on bone tool making. Because when I take the life of an animal, I do so from a place of reverence and respect and thanksgiving for that life. And I don't want to waste anything on that animal. And animal bones can be turned into a vast variety of tools. So yeah, we'll learn how to make everything from spear points to arrowheads to fish hooks to all awls for punching holes in leather, needles for sewing, all sorts of different cool bone tools. So yeah, been looking forward to that one for a while. And let's see, on October 29th, I'm doing an urban survival online class. Then my birthday weekend, Adam and I again are coming together on the 5th and 6th to run a mushrooms basic class. So this one's going to be mostly Adam doing the teaching because he is incredibly intimately familiar with his land, and he's going to talk all about mushrooms, how to propagate certain species, how to tell what family a mushroom comes from, because unlike with plants, there's a lot more toxic mushrooms than there are toxic plants. So it is crucial. And on that note, I'm also working on getting a mushroom identification class with a new friend that I met at the farmer's market. He's a mushroom expert. I'm going to get him to do a class here in the Sandy area on mushrooms. The weekend after that, we're running a class called Tracks and Traps. So it's all about ancient traps and the skills of tracking and sign tracking that go along with trapping. Because you can be amazing and know how to build all, 100+ traps that I know perfectly. But if you don't know how to track and sign track and where to set those traps, it's a useless skill. So we're going to teach, not only how to build several different traps, but we're also going to talk about the necessary tracking skills that go along that make it a really effective technique for providing yourself with food. The great thing about trapping is it's a passive means of gathering energy. Meaning, if I set 10 traps, I can be hunting in 10 places at once. Hell, I can be hunting in 11 places at once because I could be out with my bow, or my throwing stick. So yeah, really looking forward to that. And like I said, Adam and I have a bunch of other classes we are going to work on. And after that, we've got just a few other online classes. I'm going to work on filling out the winter schedule here soon as I wait to get some information from some folks. But yeah, this past weekend, it was really great to step away from being in front of a computer, frantically writing and emailing, trying to figure out how I'm going to make all of this stuff work and into my element, which is teaching. It's funny, it's even though I would die for what I do, for the vision, for the path that I walk. But, I want to teach, I want to write. I don't like doing all of the other stuff. I should say I also want to take photos. But yeah, the other stuff is a pain in the butt. And I am so thankful because there are a few people, Chrissy, Amanda, and Sandra, who have been helping me in their respective fields, whether it's YouTube expertise or editing my sloppy writing, or just helping to reach out to their networks to get people into my classes and get my photos in front of their faces. So the three of you, thank you so much. It's very, very, very much appreciated. Oh, look, there's Amanda there. Thank you, Amanda, for all your help. Also had a great conversation today with Tom Elpel, who wrote Botany in a Day. If I could only have one plant book, it would be that one. Sounds like the elk are coming up behind me. Botany in a Day is an amazing book when you're just starting out learning plants. One thing I want to ask you all to do, if you haven't done it already, is smash that like button so you can get me some more clicks to the algorithm that rules us all. Yeah. So going to be putting together winter scale. Oh yeah. Anyway, I was talking to Tom Elpel. If you don't have Botany in a Day on your bookshelf, you are silly. You should go to my website, go to the library section, and you can order it directly from him. We talked about some potential collaboration ideas for me going out to his place in Montana or Wyoming. Amanda, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Montana, and do some classes there. I'm also, once again, I am, in order to bring about this, capital C caretaker era that I keep yammering about, I'm looking to collaborate with anyone whose vision aligns with mine. So, doesn't matter what. If you are, if you think that, you have a skill set that you'd be comfortable teaching, or, you can offer me some insights from the business world, from the business side of things, contact me through my website. Because there's a lot I don't know, and a lot I've learned over the last few months, like the last year actually. But I still need to know more. I really want to achieve my goal, which is to teach for free. That is my end point, is when I don't need to have the uncomfortable feelings when I'm sitting there writing a class description and trying to come up with, how much do I charge for this? Obviously there's costs to running a class, food, things like that. But the knowledge itself is all of our birthrights. All of our ancestors practice these skills. And that's what I have a problem charging for. I would happily give it away. So I'm working on setting up some things that will hopefully make that a reality in the future. But yeah, I want to, in a perfect world, I would do 5 classes a year for 30 to 50 people in each kind of area of the country. It would be an application process to prove just that, you've really wanted to learn outdoor skills, but, you don't have the funds to afford a class. And if you are chosen, the only thing is you have to make it there. you have to make it to wherever the class is. And once you're there, you'll be greeted by us. I'll have other co-instructors, who I'll pay, some of them top-notch folks here in the US that teach these skills. All your meals will be covered. And yeah, that is my ultimate goal and what I'm striving towards. I'm also working on a few books, one on the healing power of nature and one on movement, natural movement, and how that is also good for us. Can't really think of much more for right now. I'll be slowly cobbling together some video from this past weekend's class, which I will upload here to my YouTube channel. One thing too, just I wanted to mention is that every 200 subscribers I get to my YouTube channel, I will be at random giving away a free 24 by 36-inch print of one of my photos of your choosing. So I haven't checked my follower account lately, but I know we are nearing that 200 mark. So tell your friends, tell everybody. My YouTube thing is easy. It's youtube.com/C/future nature. And I'll put that in the show notes as well. Well, everybody, I've been yapping away for a while now, and the light is getting perfect. So before I go home and feed my dog and myself, I want to sneak around with the camera and see if I can get me an elk photo. I want to thank you all so much for watching. As I said, I plan on trying to do one of these every week. The production quality will slowly get better as I learn how to make all this jive. Like, I'm gonna have a fancy countdown timer, so when you log in, it shows you how long till the stream starts and all that stuff. So I'm trying to figure that out as well. So yeah, until next time, if you ever have any questions about anything, contact me through my website, tombrown3.com. And pretty soon, one other thing before I go, I am going to be putting together a calendar for next year that is all from photographs I took in the Pine Barrens in and around the primitive camp when I was in New Jersey last year. This is going to be something that is more interesting to folks who have taken tracker classes before. But of course, they're going to be beautiful photos. So even if you've never been in the Pine Barrens, which is one of the most unique ecosystems on the planet, I should guess you check it out. So I'll be making a post about that at some point. Until next time, if you have a question, feel free to reach out, through my website or through Instagram, since those are the only two social media things I have left after the stupid hack. But thank you, all of you who have reached out to me lately and offered advice and a shoulder to cry on. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, because as I grow strong again, I can feel nature ready for me to assume my ultimate form, the popper of bubbles of safety and security and comfort. On that note, peace and love. Get outside. I will see you next week sometime. I'm not sure what day yet I'm going to do the stream, but I will decide in the next little while. See you then.